Hey my friends, Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ and we do it one bite at a time. So for lesson number 2 for Zion people in blooming where we are planted, I want to ask you, what are horses good for? Okay, horses good, riding, everything like that. They're watching, beautiful. What are dogs good for? So many good things for dogs, right? What are fish good for? Pretty fish, everything like that, all that fun stuff. What are sloths good for? The majestic sloth. Oh, let me tell you about him here. So the sloths spend most of their entire lives in trees hanging upside down. Sloths move only when necessary, and then they move very slowly. They can move about 3 feet per minute, blistering speeds, and they can move at a marginally higher speed if they are in immediate danger from a predator that's less than 13 feet per minute. So their top speed on land is 6.5 feet per minute. That is 0.07 miles per hour. Land sloths are actually extinct. I wonder why. Sloths in capacity will sleep 15 to 20 hours a day. Sloths' bodies are only 25% muscle. 2/3 of a well-fed sloth's body weight consists of the contents of its stomach. I know you're just like, my word, I'm so grateful that we tuned into this episode. Well, you're probably wondering why the Lord uses the sloth in this section here. So lesson number 2 for Zion people in blooming where you are planted, go to section 58, verses 26 to 28. So it says, "For behold, it is not meet that I should command in all things, for he that is compelled in all things, the same is a slothful, and not a wise servant. Wherefore he receiveth no reward. Verily I say, men should be anxiously engaged in a good cause, and do many things of his own free will, and bring to pass much righteousness. For the power is in them." That's such a great phrase. "Wherein they are agents unto themselves. Inasmuch as men do good, they shall in no wise lose their reward." So the question is, why is it bad to be referred to as slothful by the Lord? You take the most lazy animal in the world, and the Lord's like, don't be slothful. A slothful and not a wise servant. Well, what does it mean to be anxiously engaged in a good cause and do many things of our own free will? It's interesting. Many of us will often wait to be commanded to do good things. And that's okay to be obedient, but there are times where taking the initiative. Sloths are probably not known for taking much initiative at all, but only when maybe they're in danger, and even then they move super slow. So when I think of this idea of anxiously engaged in a good cause, I go all the way back to my days. I taught at Syracuse High School years ago, Syracuse, Utah, and right when it first opened up. So there were a group of individuals, a bunch of young women, had many of them in my seminary class, who just inspired me with something pretty amazing that they did. They weren't commanded to do it. They just did it because it was the right thing and their desires were to do this. So go ahead and watch this video and we'll come right back.
It started with a lady in our ward. She told us how this girl wanted to be a cheerleader. She was in a wheelchair and she only had about a year to live.
She had muscular dystrophy and it was her dream. She wanted to be on this cheer squad.
The district said no at first because of liability reasons.
They were concerned about her safety, being on the sidelines and near the players, and so they thought that would not be a good idea.
Yeah, I had to do it, and I knew that I had to do it. When I brought this idea to Eleni, I thought for sure, since they had already gotten a no, I thought it'd be a no.
After, the girls in our administration had a chance to kind of share their story, it's something that they've really supported.
We told Mr. Johnson about this girl, and he said, you know what, absolutely, we're gonna give this girl her dream. Katie went and told Brittany. She gave her a phone call, and when Brittany heard this, she was freaking out.
Because I just wasn't ready for it, and my mom was jumping, everyone there was just jumping and so excited.
The day that she received her uniform was during one of our assemblies, and they brought her out and presented her to the student body as a new cheerleader.
Mr. Johnson came out and He said, she is our honorary cheerleader for the year, and she has muscular dystrophy, and he kind of addressed the situation.
The whole student body just went crazy.
The response that she received from our student body was amazing.
The crowd was just going nuts, and her face was just glowing.
I felt very special.
When we were cheering at our homecoming game, at halftime, Brittany was out there on the sidelines, and the announcer came on, and he said, the cheerleaders have a gift for Brittany Crockett, our honorary cheerleader.
It was this Letterman's jacket, and it said Brittany and the year that she will graduate.
And we also got a Titan blanket. She was speechless, and it just gave all of us chills.
Every game, she would be wearing the Letterman's jacket with the Titans blanket over her.
It made me feel special. It was beautiful. I just felt loved.
When Brittany is out there with us cheering, it is a whole other experience, because she would just rally and do circles in her wheelchair. And you can just tell that she loves it.
I think that Katie and Melanie are examples of the believers because just the way they act, they're clean with dress and speech, and they're just so kind and understanding, and they think of other people before themselves.
You just really have to love who you're around, and you have to love the gospel, and you can't be afraid to show that.
Brittany has brought so many blessings to not only the squad, but myself.
She's just like the best thing that's happened to this team and this school.
It's especially helpful to know I'm never alone. Even when I feel like it, I'll always be loved.
It's just been really good to get to know her, and she's an amazing girl.
Those young women absolutely inspire me, and many of them now have families of their own, but it's just a great message. Quote from Elder Ballard, "Great things are brought about, and burdens are lifted through the efforts of many hands anxiously engaged in a good cause." So that is lesson number 2 in trying to bloom where you are planted, is not waiting to be commanded, not being slothful, but working of your own free will to bring to pass much righteousness, just like these young ladies did. Hey, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing. See you tomorrow with lesson number 3 for Zion people. Godspeed. Bye-bye.